Marcus gets the email on a Tuesday afternoon. 7% raise, effective next pay period. He does the math on the drive home. Almost $400 extra a month. He starts thinking about the credit card he's been chipping away at. Maybe finally building that emergency fund. Maybe both. That was 8 months ago. He checked his savings account last week. $340, same as before the raise. The credit card balance is actually $200 higher than it was in January. He didn't blow it on anything stupid. He's not bad with money. The raise came in, and then it just disappeared every month like it was never there. Here's what actually happened, and more importantly, what to do before the next one vanishes the same way. My name is Bobby, and I spend probably too much time thinking about the financial decisions that feel small in the moment, but determine everything 20 years later. If that sounds relevant to your life right now, hit subscribe. This is exactly the kind of thing nobody explains to you when it actually matters. Now, let's start with what a raise actually is versus what you think it is. When your employer says 7% raise, they mean gross. Before taxes, before anything. Marcus earns $68,000. 7% brings him to $72,760. That's $4,760 more on paper. But after federal tax, state tax, Social Security, and Medicare, his real take-home improvement is closer to $297 a month, not $400. $297. And that's before inflation. If prices rise 3%, which is actually below recent averages, his real new purchasing power is closer to $180 a month. That's it. That's the real raise. $180 a month of genuine new financial capacity. And the system around him was already waiting for it. Marcus didn't sit down and decide to spend his raise. Here's what actually happened. He upgraded his gym membership, $45 more a month. Closer location, has a sauna. He started ordering from the nicer lunch spot a couple of times a week, $30 more. Added a food delivery subscription because with both their schedules, honestly, it makes sense, $22. And his car lease was up. He moved to something a year newer. Payment went up $87. None of those felt like a decision. Each one felt like a small, reasonable adjustment to a slightly better life. That's what makes lifestyle creep so effective. It doesn't feel like spending. It feels like living. Added up, $45 plus $30 plus $22 plus $87. That's $184 a month. Gone in the first 90 days on things he barely remembers choosing. His real raise was $180 a month. Lifestyle creep consumed $184. He is now mathematically behind where he started. A 2023 Salary Finance survey found that 47% of workers who received a raise reported their financial stress either stayed the same or got worse within 6 months. Nearly half. Because the raise didn't change the system. It just raised the ceiling on what the system could consume. The month after his raise landed, Marcus's landlord sent the lease renewal, $170 increase. He signed it because moving costs more than staying. This is how fixed costs work. They don't scale with your income. They scale with the market, and then they lock in. His raise came in at 7%. His rent went up 11%. His car payment went up. His insurance premium went up. His fixed cost base grew faster than his income. The raise didn't create breathing room. It was swallowed whole by cost increases he didn't vote for. He's treading water and calling it a raise. Here's the part nobody talks about. The month the raise arrives, your relationship with debt quietly changes. Not because you made a bad decision, because relief and spending are neurologically connected. When financial pressure eases even slightly, the brain loosens its grip. Marcus had been keeping his credit card at $2,200, making minimum payments, plus a little extra. The month after his raise landed, he replaced his laptop. It had been running slow for 2 years. $800, refurbished, totally reasonable on the card. He'd pay it off fast now that he had more coming in. He hasn't paid it off. The balance is now $2,900. At 22% APR, that's $53 a month, paid purely in interest money that buys him absolutely nothing. It doesn't reduce the balance. It doesn't improve his situation. It just keeps the meter running. The raise made the debt more comfortable to carry, which means he carried it longer, which means the raise fed the lender instead of him. Here's exactly what to do. in the first 30 days, before the system consumes it. 1. Calculate your real raise before you touch a cent of it. New gross minus old gross multiplied by 0.75 for taxes, then subtract your personal inflation rate. What's left is your actual new money. It's smaller than you thought, but it's real, and it's yours to direct. 2. Automate the redirect before the money lands. Call HR the day the raise is confirmed. Increase your 401k contribution by 1 or 2 percentage points. The money goes to future you before it ever hits your checking account. The research is unambiguous. People who automate savings sustain them. People who manually transfer money every month stop doing it within 90 days, right around the time the lifestyle creep starts feeling permanent. 3. Kill the high-interest debt first. A credit card at 22% paid off is a guaranteed 22% return on every dollar you throw at it. No index fund can promise that. Add 1 extra payment a month to your highest rate balance. When it's gone, roll that full payment to the next one. 4. Set 1 intentional lifestyle upgrade. Just 1. The gym, the food delivery, the nicer lunch spot. Pick 1 and make everything else a conscious no for the first year. Not deprivation, design. Decide what the raise buys before lifestyle creep decides for you. 2 versions of Marcus. 5 years from now, the first Marcus does what most people do, takes the raise. Life adjusts slightly upward. Nothing really changes. Gets the next raise. Repeats. At 45, he's comfortable enough and sitting at about 20% of what he'll actually need in retirement. The second Marcus gets the exact same raise, same job, same city, but in the first 30 days, he bumps his 401k by 2%, sets up a $150 automatic Roth IRA transfer, and throws an extra $100 at the credit card every month. He doesn't feel any of that. It's automatic. His life looks identical from the outside. 5 years later, he has $47,000 more in retirement. The credit card is gone. And when a layoff comes, because eventually one does, it's a problem he can handle, not a catastrophe that defines him. Same raise, different system. The raise isn't the opportunity. The 30 days after the raise is the opportunity, and it opens and closes quietly while you're busy adjusting to a slightly nicer version of normal.